There's certainly no doubt that he's talented and showcases exceptional abilities, but the curiosity behind his journey and how he got international recognition so quickly still remains. His extraordinary work has secured him a constant place in the headlines with mixed reviews from all sorts of people. Discover how Charlie Woods just did the unbelievable and left everybody speechless. What just happened is really shocking and has completely turned the golf world upside down. Charlie Woods burst onto the national golf stage 3 years ago when at age 11 he joined his father Tiger in playing at the PNC Championship. Now this marks the 4th consecutive time Team Woods has competed at the Ritz-Carlton Golf Club to end the year. Over that span, we've seen Charlie make his first eagle, shape shots both ways, display a mighty recoil with his driver, and drain long birdie putts, all while displaying many of the same mannerisms we've seen from his Hall of Fame father over the past 25 years. Last year at age 14, Charlie stepped back at tee and played from the same distance as the likes of John Daly, Jim Furyk, Nelly Korda, Vijay Singh, and Steve Stricker. According to GolfDigest.com, I think his speed had gone dramatically up since last year, Tiger said when assessing Charlie's game. But I think that more than anything, it's just the fact that he's grown so fast. The aches and pains of growing, just, teenage life. I sort of didn't have the speed that he has at that age, Tiger said, but also I didn't have the equipment either. The equipment is so different. One thing that's difficult to quantify from watching Charlie on television each year is how his skills compare with other junior golfers in the country. He's seen alongside the most famous golfer on the planet hitting great golf shots, and annually, whether on social media or from people in the gallery, there are those who contend that he'll have a long, successful PGA Tour career and even potentially win major championships like his old man. While that could happen, it's also wise to pump the brakes and realize how far Charlie has come in a relatively short time. After all, he mostly played soccer growing up in South Florida, and it wasn't until 2020, when COVID-19 locked down the world, that Charlie found a deeper passion for golf and started to take the game more seriously. That was only 3 years ago. People need to quit comparing him to other kids who've been playing competitive golf for more time, said a Golf Digest Top 50 teacher in America. People need to wait and see where he is in 5 years, 10 years. Of course, that's nearly impossible because his last name is Woods, but the point is valid. Charlie's ultra-talented, and while he's still newer to competitive golf, he has the opportunity to excel long-term because of the wealth of experience that he can tap into and the opportunity to learn from the GOAT on how to play and prepare. The aforementioned Top 50 teacher said, "So many juniors never get exposed to that. In fact, one of the things I've found is that young players who grow up around really good players have an edge on learning to play. Now, he obviously has a huge leg up in that department. So what'll be interesting moving forward is to see how Charlie might compare to his peers if exposed to more national competition." What a media frenzy when Tiger Woods and son Charlie played together at the PNC Championship last month. Padraig Harrington said, "This is the first tournament I've ever played in that Tiger Woods is playing it and that he's not the star of the show. He should note that himself. We're all going down that range and everybody is stopping to watch son Charlie." The obvious reaction that week was to paint Charlie, dressed in Nike, club twirling and mimicking so many of the mannerisms of his 15-time major-winning dad, as a mini-me version, a chip off the old block. Years ago, when Charlie was just 11 and competing in golf tournaments, one of the expert golfers said, "He's just 11 years old. He doesn't need to be compared to Tiger. He doesn't need to be compared to anybody," Thomas said. "He just needs to enjoy the game and hopefully we'll be able to help him enjoy Saturday a little bit more." While most people say Charlie got to peak all because of his dad Tiger, Tiger is not only a 15-time champion, but also the biggest name in the history of golf. Tiger has been on stage practically since he could walk. Now, he was asked at his pre-tournament press conference how he determined that now was the appropriate time to expose Charlie to the bright lights of news coverage and the accompanying media scrutiny. Tiger said, "Charlie's been playing in junior tournaments and out in front and having people video him. This is a different world that we live in now, and everyone has a phone, and everyone has an opportunity for video," Woods said. The most encouraging words for Charlie's future in the game may be that it was Charlie who pleaded with his dad that he wanted to play in this competition. When PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan asked Charlie what other sports he played, Charlie told him he was focused on golf. leading Monahan to wonder if he hit balls every day. Charlie smiled and said that he did. "It's deepening our bond," Tiger said of teaming up with his son this week. "It's not about anybody else, it's about us, as it should be." Woods shot a 1 under par 71 at the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship qualifier at Eagle Trace Golf Club in Florida on Wednesday. Woods, the 15-year-old son of legendary golfer Tiger Woods, won the qualifier by 1 shot and will take part in the July 22nd to 27th tournament at Oakland Hills County Club's North and Restored South courses. The 264-player field, composed of the top golfers younger than 19, will play 2 rounds of stroke play on both courses before the top 64 enter match play on the South course to settle the championship. The winner will get an exemption into the 2025 U.S. Open at Oakmont. There are already 78 players who received an exemption in the field as the top-ranked amateur golfers in the world, including one who will visit Metro Detroit next week, 15-year-old Miles Russell, on a sponsor exemption to the Rocket Mortgage Classic at Detroit Golf Club. The rest of the 264-player field will be filled through top finishers at qualifiers like Woods, who finished strong with 3 birdies between holes 13 and 16 to win after starting the back 9 with the bogey and double bogey. Charlie will walk the slopes of Oakland Hills 20 years after his dad was a member of the U.S. Ryder Cup team that lost to Europe there. Woods played with Phil Mickelson in the two's only partnership in a long Ryder Cup history together, but lost both matches they played to Colin Montgomery and Patrick Harrington, then Darren Clarke and Lee Westwood. Will Charlie Woods be the next Tiger Woods? Well, let's not forget that this world is not kind. As easy as it may seem for Charlie to get worldwide recognition, it comes with its own drawbacks. In golf and in other individual sports, results tell the story. It doesn't matter what your name is attached to. Sure, the name could help a fledgling pro get a sponsor invite into a tournament field here and there, and one of those opportunities might trigger a breakthrough. But most likely, if the professional quality is there, you're not leaning on sponsor invites for very long. Now, Charlie Woods is obviously set up to go as far as his talent and desire allow. The best equipment, access to the best practice facilities and courses, and a pretty fair instructor across the dinner table. Many online viewers shared their views on Reddit. According to most, Charlie is very talented, but not exceptional or 1 in a million. Now, the reason he attracts so many sponsors and rather unnecessary attention from the media is because his dad is really famous. "It's got more to do with Tiger's accomplishments," said one. While another commented, "He's good, but there are many amateurs playing junior golf that are more accomplished. If you Google Nota Begay junior tournaments, you can see some crazy good golfers of all junior ages."
What Charlie Woods did after everything went wrong is what truly left Tiger Woods speechless, and it's why the golf world is still talking. Not the missed fairways, not the brutal opening round score, not even the early exit from one of junior golf's biggest stages. It was the response, the decision to step back into the spotlight after being humbled in front of it. That moment, quiet and largely unnoticed by casual fans, may end up defining Charlie Woods far more than any trophy ever could. The anticipation surrounding the 76th U.S. Junior Amateur Championship at Trinity Forest Golf Club in Dallas was unlike anything junior golf had seen in years. This wasn't just another stop on the elite junior calendar. This was being framed as Charlie Woods' arrival, the son of Tiger Woods, stepping onto a championship stage designed to test not just talent, but nerve, patience, and maturity. The galleries were thick, phones were raised before he even teed off, and walking just a few steps behind him inside the ropes was Tiger Woods himself, silent, watchful, impossible to ignore. Charlie wasn't treated like a typical 16-year-old competitor. He was treated like a storyline. Every swing was magnified, every miss analyzed, every reaction scrutinized, and from the very beginning of round 1, something felt off. The confidence that had fueled his strong qualifying performances earlier in the summer seemed muted. Drives drifted offline. Tempo looked rushed. The course, unforgiving by design, immediately exposed every small mistake. By the time Charlie reached the 5th hole, what started as a shaky opening had turned into something heavier. Missed fairways piled up. Approach shots came from compromised lies. Instead of attacking pins, he was scrambling just to stay afloat. And Trinity Forest does not reward survival golf. It demands commitment, precision, and emotional control. Charlie had none of that working in his favor that day. When he finally walked off the 18th green, the scoreboard told a harsh story. An 81-11 over par, near the very bottom of the field, around 242nd out of 264 players. For a tournament that many believed could be his breakout, it was a stunning collapse. The statistics only reinforced how rough the day was. Charlie hit just 3 fairways. On a championship setup, that's devastating. Nearly every hole began with trouble. Thick, rough, blocked angles or recovery shots just to get back in position. His iron play suffered because of it, with shots sailing long, coming up short, or missing badly offline. Birdie chances were almost non-existent, and when he did reach the green, the struggles didn't stop. Charlie averaged 35 putts, a number that instantly kills momentum. Short putts slid past the hole. Lag putts finished uncomfortably far away. 4 double bogeys went on the card, and each one felt heavier than the last. His body language changed. The confident walk fans had seen in earlier events faded into a slow, deliberate trudge. But the most striking part of the round wasn't the score or the stats. It was the silence behind him. Tiger Woods didn't step in. He didn't offer visible advice. He didn't crouch beside greens or whisper encouragement like he had in previous junior events. He walked quietly, arms folded, expression unchanged. Reporters from multiple golf outlets noted the tension. There were no fist bumps, no pep talks, just a father watching his son struggle through one of the hardest rounds of his young life. Several times, Charlie glanced back toward Tiger, not in panic, but in uncertainty, as if searching for reassurance. Tiger gave none, and that silence was louder than anything he could have said. This wasn't Tiger the coach, this was Tiger the witness, allowing his son to experience the full weight of competition without a safety net. Buried inside that painful round, though, were moments that mattered more than they appeared. On the back 9, Charlie made 2 birdies, including a confident putt on the par 3 13th. For a brief stretch, the swing looked freer. The tempo steadied. The crowd leaned back in. It didn't lead to a comeback, but it proved Sommier something important. He hadn't lost his game entirely. The final result stayed an 81. The damage was done. Analysts quickly dissected the performance. Some questioned whether Charlie was ready for this level. Others pointed to the immense psychological burden of carrying the Woods name. What became clear was that this wasn't just a technical breakdown, it was emotional, mental. The collision between expectation and reality had arrived all at once. For many teenagers, a round like that would linger. It would bleed into the next day. Confidence would evaporate. The temptation to mentally check out would be overwhelming. Charlie Woods didn't do that. When he returned for round 2, he looked different. Not flawless, not dominant, but composed. He found more fairways. His approach shots had better shape and intent. The reckless mistakes disappeared. Most importantly, the emotional spiral was gone. He played golf instead of fighting it. Charlie shot a 74, 3 over par, no double bogeys, no collapse, just steady, controlled golf. In isolation, it wasn't spectacular, but in context, it was extraordinary. After one of the most public struggles of his young career, under the brightest spotlight he'd ever faced, he responded with maturity. It wasn't enough to save his tournament. The cut line for match play sat at +2. Charlie finished at +14, missing it by 12 shots. The week was over. NBC Sports labeled it one of the most high-profile exits of the championship, not because Charlie was expected to win, but because so many believed he was ready to contend. But something shifted in that second round. Tiger Woods didn't speak publicly about it. He didn't need to. Those close to the situation noticed the change. The silence wasn't disappointment anymore. It was understanding. Charlie hadn't folded. He hadn't withdrawn. He hadn't blamed the course, the pressure, or the expectations placed on him since birth. He showed up again. That's what left Tiger speechless. Because Tiger knows better than anyone what golf demands before it gives anything back. He knows greatness isn't built on highlight clips or junior trophies. It's forged in moments like this: public failure, private resolve, and the decision to walk back into the fire instead of away from it. Charlie Woods doesn't just play golf. He carries a surname that reshaped the sport. Every result is magnified, every stumble dissected. His performance at Trinity Forest wasn't judged like any other juniors. It became a referendum on his future. And that's an impossible burden for a 16-year-old. What the golf world saw wasn't a finished product. It was a teenager learning, in real time, what elite competition truly costs. The fearless, clutch version of Charlie that emerged in earlier tournaments didn't fully appear. Instead, fans saw something raw, uncomfortable, and deeply human. Great careers aren't defined by smooth ascents alone. They're shaped by how players respond when things fall apart. Charlie's week in Dallas was humbling, painful, and public, but it was also formative. He didn't quit. He didn't hide. He didn't disappear. He adjusted. He competed. He finished. That matters more than most people realize. Missing the cut by 12 shots stings, that there's no denying that. But gaining experience under this level of scrutiny, standing on the tee with Tiger Woods behind you and cameras everywhere,